Yes, at number 9, we have a classic. It's the Ouija board. Tale as old as time, right? Do you guys even need me to explain this one? Can we just move on to number 8? No? I have to say the words? Okay then. An Ouija board is a board with printed letters, numbers and signs, plus the words yes, no, good and bye. It is used to summon spirits and communicate with them. Famously, bad spirits have indeed been summoned. Interestingly, you can actually buy an Ouija board in a lot of mainstream game shops. Why buy one when you could make one yourself? Coming into number 8, we have Charlie Charlie. Charlie Charlie is a game, I guess, a bit like the Ouija board, but it's way more DIY. A person balances pencils on top of one another with no and yes written in squares. Charlie Charlie can't be used to summon any demon though. It seems that the infamous Charlie is the only one that will appear. And again, I'm not sure you want to meet him. Players of the game say something like, Charlie Charlie, are you here? And then the pencil moves and teenagers freak out on YouTube. That's the trend. So why do the pencils move? Clearly because a demon has been summoned, not because of friction and gravity. Demon. Coming in at number 7, we have the living doll. Do you know what? I really don't like a creepy doll. I don't. In fact, I feel like you shouldn't have dolls over the age of 10. Just get rid of them because they'll probably haunt you. They pop up everywhere and they're always causing paranormal havoc. Get those dolls out. So Living Doll is like a cocktail of paranormal game fusion. It's got a lot of scary game tropes, candlesticks, mirrors, hiding, a doll. So here you're supposed to put a doll and a candle between two mirrors and say a little incantation. You then blow out the flame and wait for the doll to come and find you. If it finds you, then bad news bears. You're supposed to hide for around an hour and try not to get found. If you remain unfound, then good. Congratulations, you survive. You then return to the doll, which may have moved, pour salt on it and put it in a cupboard overnight. That ought to do it. Coming into number 6, we have Midnight Man. Midnight Man is a modern rehashing of an old pagan ritual and is essentially a game to summon a spirit. I feel like all of these games summon spirits, you know. To play, you write your name on a piece of paper. You have to prick your finger and produce a small drop of blood and put it on the paper. You then light a candle and then you tape the paper with your name on it to a wooden door. It has to be wooden, apparently, so. Timing is very important here. You have to then knock on the door 22 times, with the last knock coming exactly at the stroke of midnight. You then open the door, blow out the candle, close the door, relight the candle. To me, it's all a big faff. This apparently means that the Midnight Man is now in your house. Your job is to avoid being caught by the Midnight Man, who will try and scare you until 3:33 AM. No more, no less. Honestly, I'd much rather just be in bed having a good sleep. It sounds like way too much aggro. Whatever you do, don't say his name 5 times unless you want to play the game, in which case, go ahead. That's right guys, at number 5 we have Candyman. Candyman, Candyman, Candyman. Actually, do you know what? I think I'll stop there. The Candyman is allegedly a murder victim with a hook for a hand, like Captain Hook, one of my favourite characters ever. He's mean. If you say Candyman's name 5 times, then you will summon him. The only issue, aside from summoning a demon, is, you know, he's angry. He probably wants you to die. There is a movie made about it. Have you seen it? Let me know. Coming into number 4, we have the Devil's Dog. Yet another summoning game, although this one doesn't require a mirror. Shocker. If calling forth the Hounds of Hell is high up on your to-do list, then you'll be pleased to know it's actually pretty easy. All you have to do is close your eyes, although allegedly the game works best in a group of 4 with one person in the middle. Alone or together, you close your eyes and hunch into a little ball and say, Devil's Dog, Devil's Dog, Satan bring me Devil's Dog, over and over again until you feel scratch marks on your back. You'll likely even see them. This way you'll know that you've been marked by the Hellhounds. Apparently they'll provide you with protection, but you'll also be cursed, so, you know, again, Tea and Catan? Anyone? Coming into number 3, we have Mirror Tunnels. Mirror Tunnels is a classic parallel universe game. For this one, you're supposed to set up 2 very big mirrors facing one another, and then you physically stand in the middle. You stand looking in the mirror and count how many frames you can see over your shoulder in your reflection, like mirror after mirror after mirror after mirror, kind of like that bit in Black Swan. It's actually honestly probably enough to send you mad. So you were supposed to look out for movement in the frames. You should be standing still, but one of your reflections might move in another dimension. Honestly, to me it's all a bit mind-bending, but basically, so it goes. One version of you in a different dimension may bring something bad to your current dimension. Do you know what? I've gone cross-eyed. I feel like we need to move on. It's too much. Although I will say, in every world in which you exist, are you always going to be good? Honestly, probably better just to leave this one alone. Okay, this is another scary game that comes from Japan, and to me that makes it a little bit scarier. We have the bath game. Also known as Daruma-san, the bath game involves summoning a grotesque ghost, and then you gotta stop it from catching you. Again, I'm sensing a theme here. This is like very normal for paranormal games, right? Honestly, summoning a demon in the bath isn't my kind of party. I'd rather have a candle and a glass of wine and a good book, but whatever floats your boat. It seems that this game involves taking a bath at night in the dark and sitting facing the taps. You're supposed to wash your hair and then repeat the words "Daruma-san fell down" over and over again. You've got to keep your eyes shut, but you'll feel a presence in the bath with you. When you feel the presence, you should ask, why did you fall in the bath? When you feel like the presence finally leaves you, you've got to get out of the bath, but leave the water where it is, don't drain it. The next morning is when the game begins. The ghost of Daruma will follow you. She'll get closer as the day goes on, but you cannot let her catch you. When you see her over your shoulder, you must shout "Kita," which means I cut you loose, and then perform a karate chop. Kita! I mean, that sounds fun, but honestly, the whole thing sounds pretty pointless. Why spend a day escaping a demon when you could just, be having a good day? Pray for devils have no reason. Satan waits to curse your ways. Have you seen it in his eyes in the sunset? Have you wonder if he's laughing when he plays? That's right, coming into number 1 we have the Devil's Game. Great! So I found that terrifying description on a game listed on creepypasta.com, and it seems that the game has a 9.1 out of 10 rating from over 5,000 votes, so it must be scary. The game allegedly allows you to speak with the devil, and if you do it right, I quote, there's a fair chance you'll walk away scot-free. Good. The purpose of the game is not to make a deal with the devil, but just to ask him things. What type of things? Well, the post reads that he could very well be able to predict the winning numbers of tomorrow's Powerball, for example, or tell you what deadly undiagnosed condition might be afflicting one of your loved ones. How do you play? Well, the creepypasta says that the demon can be summoned at a church at midnight, but it works even better on a new moon, full moon, Friday the 13th, Halloween, etc. You will, you guessed it, need salt, 7 white or red candles, some matches, red string, a mirror. You cannot bring any electronic devices into the room, as apparently that is not something that the devil is okay with. Apparently all you have to do is light the candles and stare into the mirror and will the devil to come. When he appears, one is supposed to challenge him to a game of question and response. The best way to get a truthful answer from him, according to the creepypasta, is to accept a dare from him. Now I don't know about you, but I will not be doing any dares set to me by the devil.
Starting us off with number 10 is the elevator game. This one is extremely popular in Japan, and I feel like Japan just gets creepy stuff right like 99.9% of the time, so I trust them. Either way, the point of this game is to maybe transport to another world or parallel universe of sorts. To play, you have to be in a building that has at least 10 floors, and you have to be the only one in the elevator at all times. To start the game, you have to go to a sequence of floors in a specific order, but if any random person gets in the elevator while you're doing this, you have to start all over again, so it is a bit of a mission. So the order is the 4th floor, then the 2nd, then 6th, then 2nd, then 10th, and then finally the 5th. If a woman enters the elevator while you're on the 5th floor, do not look at her, don't speak to her, no eye contact, no nothing. This woman is not human and will keep you with her forever if you have any interaction with her. Once she enters, press the 1st floor and then the elevator will go up or down as it pleases, and it should take you to the 10th floor. At this point, leave the elevator straight away. The woman will ask you in an inhuman high-pitched voice where you're going or what's wrong. Do not answer her, just go. If you exit the elevator and it's dark, your phone doesn't work, and you see a red cross outside one of the windows, then you've reached the other world. Congratulations. And the only way to get back to our world is to repeat all the steps you did to leave it, but if you reach the 1st floor and the door opens but things seem off, even if a speck of dust is out of place, then do not exit the elevator because you will die. Apparently this is what Eliza Lamb was doing in the elevator CCTV footage of her right before she died. And I've seen that footage, but I didn't know about the game at the point, and I was like, wow. Coming in at number 9 is Dry Bones. So if you like hide and seek, you're gonna like this one, or maybe you won't, depending on how much of a scaredy cat you are. I definitely am, but yeah. So Dry Bones is like hide and seek demon edition. Great, must they just interject in everything we do. So you can only play near midnight, and you start off by getting a candle and a match. At precisely 12:01 AM, you have to go to your bathroom and stare at the mirror while lighting the candle. Keep the match burning until it goes out completely, and then say, "I am aware of your presence and I welcome you into my home. Come now." And this is essentially the point you're inviting a demon into your house. And if you've made it this far, this is the part where you run for your freaking life and hide like your life depends on it, cause it high-key does. To survive the game, you need to stay hidden till 3 AM. Once the clock hits 3, go to the largest room in your house and say thank you for playing, but you must leave now. You are no longer welcome. If you hear a groaning sound right after that, then the demon will leave your house and give you a prize of your choosing. I don't really know how this bit works, like do you have a conversation with the demon? Does it magically know what you want? I don't really know. But if you don't hear a groaning sound, then that means the demon wasn't satisfied with how you played, and let's just say you'll face a fate worse than death. So in conclusion, just don't lose. Easy. At number 8 we have 3 Kings. Now this game actually came from the No Sleep subreddit thread, which we all go and explore when we're, just feeling a type of way. Either way, in order to play you need 3 chairs. 2 have to face each other and there has to be a mirror on each one. The third chair gets placed in the middle of the 2 chairs, and that one is your throne, making you the king. Hello, your highness. The mirrors constitute as your queen and your fool, but you don't know which one is which, and mind you, this all has to be done in the dark. And keep in mind, from the queen and fool's point of view, you're also either their queen or their fool. I said it was called 3 Kings, right? There have to be 3 kings. At 3:30 AM, sit on the throne with a lit candle facing one of the mirrors. Hold the candle, stare into the darkness, and start the game. The whole point of the game is to literally transport your consciousness to a whole other dimension or get to the shadow side. People have claimed they've had conversations with themselves in an out-of-body introspective experience or manner. You become able to look at your past and present through new eyes. Others have said the whole thing feels like a lucid dream almost, or meditation, which are 2 very different experiences, so I guess it really just depends on what you're like as a person. Let me know if you try it. I'd be very interested to know if you thought it was a lucid dream or meditation. Filling our number 7 slot is Concentrate. Now I totally get why a lot of people would want to play this one, and I also get why people wouldn't, so let me know which side you fall on. So this is actually classified as a scary sleepover game, but I'm like, which 15-year-old is gonna want to play this? I would not have been doing this at 15, but that's me. Either way, if you're the one playing, you need to close your eyes and sit on the ground while a friend sits behind you reciting a dark poem about babies crying and people dying. The poem is long as hell. I'm not gonna stand here reciting the whole thing for you, but you can Google it if you want to play. While they're reciting it, the person has to be lightly tapping the back of the person who's actually playing. They then imitate murdering you in multiple ways. Get creative here, people, get those slit throats in there. And then finally, your friend has to push you over from your sitting position. By the end of this whole experience, you should feel like you're in a trance of some kind, and this trance essentially allows you to see how you yourself will end up dying. Apparently, you'll see a color of some kind, and that color corresponds to a way of death. Again, you can find it on Google. Hey man, some people just want to know about the end and others don't. To each their own. I think I would not want to play this game. I don't want to know how I go. It can just remain a mystery. I don't want to predict it. I don't want to know. Coming in at number 5 is the Closet Game. Now I don't know who in their right mind would actually want to play this, but I don't judge. So if you want to play it, go right ahead. Now the sole purpose of this game is to summon a demon into your home, whether that's to haunt it, to just spread bad juju around you. I don't know, maybe you hate your parents and you want to piss them off. Maybe you're lonely and a demon seems like good company to you. I don't know. To start the game, you have to stand in your closet with the door closed with an unlit match in your hand. You then have to say, "Show me the light or leave me in the darkness." Dramatic, I know. After saying this, you should hear a very faint whisper of some kind, and when you do, you have to light the match ASAP Rocky. That is key, you guys. If you don't do it quickly enough, the demon you just called upon can suck you into a pit of eternal darkness forever. That's just really not the vibe we're going for here. So light the match on time, open the closet door, and step out slowly, and voila. Your room or house should now be haunted or protected or cursed by a demon. But just a safety tip, if you do play this game, you should never look inside your closet without light after it. And if you accidentally leave your closet door open at night, you'll definitely be able to see the demon's red glowing eyes eyes watching you from inside. And if you want that, then knock yourself out, but yeah. At number 4 is the Answer Man. Now this is another one from Japan, and it's a bit of an urban legend. Apparently the game invokes an evil spirit if done correctly, so if that sounds like your jam, then listen up. Now with this one, you have to play with 10 people, so if you don't have 10 friends, I certainly don't, then you can't play the game. I'm sorry, you loner. So step 1 is to sit in a circle, and you all have to have your phones on you. On the count of 3, or just at the same time, every person has to call the person on their left and then listen. Since everyone's calling each other all at the same time, everyone should hear the busy ringtone and no one's call should be answered. But one call will be. If your call gets answered, that is the Answer Man. If you get him on the phone, you can ask him absolutely anything and he will answer it truthfully and rightfully. But with every question you ask, he gets to ask you a question too that you have to answer. If you answer his questions wrong or don't answer them period, then a gnarled, bony hand will appear out of the phone and tear off a piece of your body. Honestly, I'm down to play this game as long as my call isn't the one that gets answered. I don't mind being, like a spectator to the mayhem. I don't want to be involved, but I'll be eating popcorn and watching everything unfold. Safe over there. Filling our number 3 slot is the Dark Reflection Ritual, and contrary to the title of it, it still is a game, not just a ritual, so don't worry, I didn't snake you. So the whole point of this one is to boost your luck, but to do that, you're gonna have to go through a night of terrible luck to get there. You can play this game by yourself if you're ballsy, or in a group. If you're not, I would definitely play it in a group, because personally there is strength in numbers and I'm not trying to die, or at least I'm not trying to die first. So you play by finding a mirror. A small handheld one is the best one to have, and you have to look at your reflection in the eyes for a few seconds. While you do this, you have to focus all your bad negative energy and breathe it onto the mirror till it fogs up completely. At that point, you quickly hold the mirror to a burning flame to create a black smudge on it. After that, the rockstar can come out of you a bit, because then you get to smash the mirror, which is a lot of fun. But your rockstar dreams are gonna end very shortly after that, because the rest of the night will be hell. Bad luck will follow you and get worse and more dangerous as the night goes on. Be on your guard, try not to die, and if you survive till the sun rises, then you've basically won at life. The game is meant to give you success in everything you do very shortly after, and to be honest, this game is sounding real tempting to me right now. Be right back. Now at number 2 is the Telephone Ritual. This one's extremely dangerous, so you really need to proceed with caution on this one. I mean, then again, they all are. So what you need is a phone, salt, a flashlight, but you can also use the light on your phone, and an amulet for protection. But that one's optional. I mean, how many people have a handy dandy amulet just lying around? I certainly don't. So this one can only be played alone and only at night. After midnight, when you're home alone, turn off all the lights in your house and make your way to your bathroom. Scatter salt around the toilet door and make a sort of barrier of salt outside it, and then lock yourself inside. Use the flashlight to light up the surface of water in the toilet bowl and just keep staring at the water. And please try not to or something in there beforehand, because that's just going to make for a very unpleasant game. While still staring into the bowl, call your house phone and let it ring, and don't hang up. And at this point, one of 2 things can happen. If you start seeing the surface of the water change, or you hear a noise from inside the house, then hang up ASAP and scatter salt all around yourself. Now the second thing that can happen is that if someone answers your call, then hang up straight away, get the hell out of the toilet, put salt around the house phone, and hopefully you'll be safe in that moment, but not for long. To be on the safest side, just sprinkle salt all around your house after this. But the point of the game is that apparently the ghost of an ancestor or a spirit that haunts your house is meant to answer the phone and kind of just be in your house. I'm honestly not trying to awaken any demon, ghost, entity that lives in my house. You can just stay in hibernation, thank you. And finally, at number 1 is the Picture Game. If you're a paranormal ghost lover, then saddle up, because this one is for you, and there are many rules to this one, so pay attention please, and thank you. Any number of people can play, and the point is to catch a ghost or entity on camera. You have to start the game at midnight in a quiet room. Out of string or rope, make a circle by tying the ends together and place this rope circle in the middle of your chosen room. Place a glass in the middle of the rope circle and fill it with wine or any alcoholic drink, really. Then everyone should sit in a circle around the rope and have a mirror in front of them, but the reflective part has to be facing the ceiling. A lot of rules, I know. But that's just the setup. Now the game actually begins. Everyone has to close their eyes, hold hands, and one after the other say, "I trust you." Not all at once, one after the other. After everyone's done that, everyone has to say, "The door is open, please come in," 3 times in unison, and then you can open your eyes. With a camera, every person has to say, "I caught you," then take a picture of the middle of the circle. Don't preview the photo, just say the words and take it. Then pass the camera around and repeat till each person has taken 3 pictures, so the camera's gone around the circle 3 times at that point. At any point, if anyone starts feeling like vomiting or begins to cry, do not let them take any pictures, just make them pass the camera on. Once you've done all that, put the camera down, close your eyes again, and say it is time to go home 3 times in unison. Each person has to then turn their mirror upside down, put the lights on, and use some sharp tool to cut the rope circle, empty the drink into the earth, and review the pictures and prepare to be shocked. If you do end up doing this, please show me if you see anything weird on your camera film, like I really want to know. Camera film? We're in the digital era. Your SD card.
Starting off this countdown, we have the corner game. For this game, you need 4 people. One person stands in each corner of the room with the lights off. They face towards the walls. You then count down from 3, and then everybody turns clockwise towards another corner. You then count down again from 3 and rotate again. After you've completed a full rotation, one member of your group will disappear. Don't say anything though. If you're lucky, it won't be you. This friend was then taken to the spirit realm. To get them back, everyone has to say their name backwards 3 times and then turn on the lights. Your friend should then reappear. If they don't, I guess they're stuck in the spirit realm forever. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the thumb game. Now this game is based off of an old Japanese legend in which a woman gets murdered and dismembered by a serial killer. The police managed to locate all her chopped up body parts except for her left thumb. So for this game, you and 3 or more friends sit in a circle with a lit candle in the middle. Each person holds onto the thumb of the person sitting to his or her right. So everyone is grabbing everyone's left thumb. You then close your eyes and repeat this chant. Oh yeah, you be, hear our voices. Oh yeah, you be, grant our wish. Within moments, you'll be transported to the scene of the murder. The object of the game is to then find this girl's thumb. However, you have to do so while holding onto your friend's thumb the entire time. Should you let go, they will be taken away to the spirit realm. At some point, you might feel a bony finger tapping on your shoulder, but whatever you do not look around. Doing so will get you killed. You have until the candle burns out to find the missing thumb, and then you'll return to your home. If you don't find the thumb, however, you're SOL. Moving on to number 4, we have one man hide and seek. Ever wanted to play hide and seek but don't have any friends to play with? Well, no fear. You can now summon a demon and have them play hide and seek with you. All you gotta do is have a doll that the demon can possess. First, you have to rip out the stuffing of the doll and replace it with rice and one of your fingernails or a strand of hair. Then you have to sew it shut. Then you place the doll in a tub filled with water and turn the lights off. Fill your mouth with some salt water and then go back to the bathtub. The doll should be gone. You then have to wander around your house looking for the doll. You need to find her while still keeping the salty water in your mouth. I have no clue why, don't ask me, I didn't make up the game. Oh, and you have to find the doll in the dark. You can't use any light whatsoever. The game ends once you have found the doll and poured the salt water from your mouth on it. Once the doll is dry, you need to burn the doll, or else this demon doll will terrorize you and your home. Coming in at number 3, we have Charlotte's Mirror. For this game, you get to contact a ghost of a 7-year-old girl named Charlotte. Charlotte died in the 15th century after her mom was burned alive at the stake for being a witch. So in order to contact her, you need to go into a dark room with a large mirror and a gift. Something Charlotte would like, maybe a toy. Anyways, you put the toy on the floor and you use the mirror to see Charlotte. So you point the mirror so you're looking at the reflection of the gift. If Charlotte likes the gift, she will reward you by answering any questions you have about the afterlife. But here's the thing, if she doesn't like your gift, you gotta run or else she's going to kill you. Also, whatever you do, do not bring candles. Her mom died from being burnt alive, so she does not like flames or fire. Okay, that's another sure way to piss her off. In our second spot, we have the Binoculars Game. Now this game was posted by a Reddit user who claimed he learned this game from a book that had been passed around his family generation to generation. According to the book, you play the game as so. First, you need to visit an empty house with your friend. From there, tie a piece of rope to the front door and tie the other end of the rope to your friend. Then write this message on a piece of paper. We welcome you, you shall not be harmed, and you slip it under the door. You then need to wait until 10:30 p.m., at which you split off from your friend and explore the dark home. You have to then repeat the phrase, come, come, come with me, we'll have lots of fun, come with me. Then return to your friend and put your ear to the door. If you hear knocking, that means he is on his way. So you need to run upstairs with a pair of binoculars and look out the window. You should then see a shadowy figure in the distance moving towards the house. From there, lock all the doors but open a window and shout out, "Forgive, for I am mistaken." You then close your eyes and open them again quickly. If the figure is no longer there, you're saved. If he's still coming, well, rest in peace to you both. I just don't understand why you need to tie your friend to the door. Like, are they a sacrifice or what? And in our number one spot today, we have the Hooded Man Ritual. For this game, you get to call on a ghost taxi cab with a hooded man behind the wheel. How fun. Basically, what you do is use an old rotary phone to call a specific number, and once you call this number and recite a certain phrase which I will not tell you, a black taxi cab with a hooded man behind the wheel will show up at your location. You then have to enter the cab's back seat, lock the door, and go to sleep. Apparently you'll fall asleep in 70 seconds. Then there's a huge list of things you have to follow and do. It's pretty complicated, but in the end, if you succeed, you'll make it home safely. But if the player stays in the cab until the hooded man reaches the end of his route, let's just say it won't be good. Also, if you look directly into the hooded man's eyes, you'll die immediately, so that's fun.